Hello dear friends, today I plan to tell you about the importance of focusing. Focus is essential at all levels. If I am working on my task for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then afterwards, I absolutely need to eat, sleep. Excuse the expression, use the restroom, and do something else. At this point, all concentration vanishes, attention becomes defocused, and, consequently, we cannot complete any task, today. I decided to share with you my 10 effective techniques, which will truly help you maintain focus, to achieve the desired results in life. Let's start with the fact that I'm not saying you must apply all my rules. However, I'm confident that some of them will stay in your minds, and you will use them in your daily life. I assure you, this will help achieve any goal. Because focusing on the task is truly important. Without it, you will never reach the desired outcome. In general, if I've intrigued you even a bit somewhere there, then get comfortable, and let's get started. Thank you, friends, for still being with me. I'm very pleased that you're still interested. The first secret, look for an energy balance. Focus can change, depending on your energy status. Imagine, you certainly know a person who is very active and is in a state of overexcitement, jumping from one place to another, or you recognize something similar in yourself. Friends, in such a state, it will be difficult for you to remain focused. There's also the opposite side of this state, apathy. A state when you are passive, when you have a low energy status, when you're dissatisfied with everything and you don't care what's happening around. What do you think? Are both of these states good for concentration? The correct answer, both are bad for concentration. And when you're hyperactive, something will always distract you. Such a state is better not to be chosen for focused work. If you're in an apathetic state, it's better to rest, because you will spend a lot of time, will not think as quickly, and productivity will be low, as you lack focus. In general, if I've intrigued you even a bit somewhere there, then get comfortable, and let's get started. Thank you, friends, for still being with me. I'm very pleased that you're still interested. And when you have concentration, you can do in 10 minutes what you wouldn't have done in 3 hours in an apathetic state. In an apathetic state, you sit, and your brain truly works slower, but, if you're focused, then everything works out quickly and efficiently for you. And what's the main trick? It lies in the fact that you don't have to piss against the wind. That is, if you're hyperactive, don't work in that state where focus is required. If you're apathetic and have a low energy status, don't solve complex tasks, you won't have concentration. Understanding this, you must realize that you need a balance. You need to choose the optimal time for work, when you are not too active and not passive. Something in between. This way, you can concentrate on the task and solve it more efficiently. By the way, this also applies to workouts in the gym. For instance, if you have a low energy status, then it's undesirable to do heavy workouts in such a state. Do light workouts and give yourself a rest. On the other hand, if you have planned a light workout and you come to the gym feeling very energetic, then in that case it's better to change plans and do a heavy workout to failure with maximum weights. Adjust to your energy status and find a balance. This is the first trick. The second secret, with your actions, you can create the necessary energy state. With NLP, you can manage these states. This is one of my favorite patterns. The essence of NLP is not only that our thoughts determine actions, but also our actions determine our consciousness and thoughts. That is, if you feel unconfident, then straighten your shoulders, stand up straight, raise your head, and you will definitely notice how you become more confident, and your behavior will change your psyche, your consciousness. This is an example for you to understand the essence of this method. In our case, the point is, that we can use various actions to provoke a state of mind. If you're hyperactive, then you need to take actions that calm your psyche. For instance, turn on calming pleasant slow music, sit down to meditate, start breathing deeper, go out into nature. That is, do actions that calm you down. NLP says that wherever our actions go, there our psyche will follow. Your psyche from a hyperactive state will begin to calm down if you do the necessary actions, and this is the trick. The other side of the coin, if, for example, you're in an apathetic state, in a passive state, and you lack concentration, then turn on Rammstein or engage in physical exercises, run, go out to a crowded place, drink a cup of coffee, any activity that will energize your psyche. From a passive state into an active one. The trick lies in the fact that our actions and deeds affect our consciousness and thoughts, overall, the state of our mind. The next concept is called neuroplasticity. Our brains are flexible. It used to be believed that the brain was a static system. For instance, once you learned to speak and those neural connections were made, they became a habit, a fixed neural pattern. You learned to walk, which means mastering certain actions. However, if due to some illness you lost the ability to speak or to walk, the brain begins to form a new habit, and changes its focus. For those among you with poor concentration, or character flaws, there's good news, all this can be changed, including your ability to focus. According to experts, such a habit can be formed in 60 days. But don't tell yourself that you can't do it, you simply haven't formed that neural connection yet. It all comes with practice. Do it for 60 days straight, and everything will train itself, and you will be able to change your life. If you're generally inattentive, you'll be tempted to give up. No matter what your task is, practice improving your focus every day, and soon it will become a habit, and you will enjoy these actions. This way, you can change your life. By the way, many people don't understand bodybuilders, thinking they torture themselves in the gym and restrict their diets. But the secret of bodybuilders is that they don't feel any restrictions or difficulties. For them, it's a beloved habit that they enjoy both the process and the results. They have a neural connection, and thanks to dopamine and serotonin, they actually consider themselves handsome. Immerse yourself in your work for an hour, 2, or 3, the key is to do it regularly, and then you'll form a new neural connection. As soon as you see the first results, you'll say, "Wow, I did well." And you'll start enjoying your activities. Neuroplasticity is a very important concept, and I recommend that you practice and develop new habits that will make you stronger. I will dub the third trick the nemesis of multitasking. I've heard many great stories about the heroes of antiquity, for example, about Julius Caesar and his ability to multitask. You know, it seems to me that they deceive us because our brain is not adapted to work in a multitasking mode. This is often discussed and stories are beautifully told about how someone can write, listen, and do something else simultaneously. But, in reality, it's not the case. In practice, you have to sacrifice something to pay attention to something else. The truth is that there have been many studies. Some students were asked to solve 2 tasks at the same time, and there was a second group where they solved tasks sequentially. It turned out that those who did the task sequentially coped much faster, despite the first group trying to do everything at once. Due to this multitasking, they lost focus and it harmed their work. You don't have to try to do everything in life all at once. Let me tell you about myself, friends. When I plan my day on the board, I always highlight one main task for the day that is achievable. All other tasks for me are additional, and if I don't complete them, I won't be upset. If there's time after the main task, I'll take on the secondary ones. Because if I'm solving them, in principle, I'll solve them anyway. So, friends, put multitasking aside. Once again, friends, prioritize 1 or 2 tasks per day and no more, and you'll be amazed at how everything will work out for you, because you're focused. The trick, the curse of multitasking: concentrate on just one thing. To improve focus, switch your activity and use pauses. The essence is, the brain was not originally adapted to such intellectual activities as eating, sleeping, or fighting. And now, we're overloading our resources, which, frankly, were not designed for this. Focusing takes up significant resources. Greetings to Professor Suvlev, he often discussed this topic. When we engage our brains and concentrate, the brain starts to work at its maximum, but it's not ideal for it. It begins to consume an abundance of energy, hence we unconsciously strive to avoid thinking. For instance, if you twist a nut too forcefully, you might strip the threads. So, what's the solution? Taking breaks is the key. I recommend focusing intensely for no more than 30 minutes, regardless of whether you're learning Spanish, writing a term paper, coding, or engaging in any other activity that requires intense concentration. After 30 minutes, it's beneficial to switch activities, do something different. If you've been engaged in mental activities for an extended period, physical exercise is particularly effective. And, take at least a 5 to 10 minute break at the minimum. This explains why many businessmen value gym workouts. The gym acts as a stress reliever. One arrives, exercises, and thereby the muscles are engaged. Offering a way to achieve balance, I promote a balanced approach and suggest alternating activities with rest periods. Sleep during the day. I've noticed that focus significantly improves after napping. It's like rebooting a computer, it refreshes through rest. Thus, you get fully recharged and it gives you energy. It would be the best way, although this method is the most expensive and there's not always an opportunity to take a nap. There are even companies that allow a quick sleep. From my experience, since I don't work for someone else, I can afford to nap and it greatly helps me. Choose goals that depend on your efforts, not circumstances. Why do I learn these Spanish words every time? What's the goal? Depending on what my goal is, it greatly affects the focus. All this talk about, it would be nice to get pumped, it would be nice to become rich, it's all nonsense. You need to set specific goals. For example, I want a bicep of 42 centimeters so that Angela from the neighboring building agrees to date me, or, for instance, I want to learn Chinese in order to establish business with China. This is an example of setting the right goal. With an improperly set goal, you won't have focus. The goal here is a subtle trap. Achieving a goal can depend on your efforts. And note, achieving a goal can also depend on circumstances. The question is this: which goal setting is better for focus? Well, I think you understand that it's the one where your goal depends only on your efforts, not on circumstances. Let's say if I sell 5 kilograms of apples at the market, I will get 50, let's say $60. I know for sure that if I sell them, achieving my goal, I want $60, totally depends on my actions, on how well I will sell. But if our goal depends on circumstances, let's suppose if I do the job well, maybe the boss will notice and increase my salary, then, that's the wrong approach. This goal does not depend on me but on circumstances, whether the director notices or not. It's unclear. What depends on you, that increases your focus, so set yourself specific, clear goals that depend on your efforts. Don't think about the reward, think about the task at hand. This is the next trick. Many people focus on what they will get from their actions, and it greatly impedes them. This is a deep philosophy connected with universal balance. If there is something very valuable, very important to you, then be prepared to pay a lot for it. But as soon as the value of that desire in your head decreases, you can achieve it more easily. There's a straightforward example in human interactions. For instance, you meet a girl and wish to get to know her, but you can't manage to do so. However, as soon as you reduce the importance of this event in your mind, suddenly everything starts to fall into place. That means you shouldn't fixate too much on the desired result, making your tasks too desirable. Rather, focus on the task here and now. When a person focuses less on the result, it helps them to complete the task faster and stay more focused. So, daydream less and concentrate more on the task you are currently undertaking. There is such a thing as positive energy. Our psyche largely understands things energetically. A positive attitude towards any goal is very important, as it affects focus. If you don't believe in your goal, then you won't make much effort, and consequently, you won't have focus. Thus, it's very important to believe in what you are doing. Don't doubt, otherwise, you'll start to believe that you are bad, and you'll have a negative mindset and expect defeat. Therefore, cast away negative thinking. Friend, a positive attitude is important, and in this sense, the energy is vital. There's negative and there's positive energy. Believe in a positive outcome. Remember similar tasks that ended with a positive result. For example, remember how you managed to get acquainted with that beautiful girl in the senior class. In general, recall similar positive stories. This way, you'll understand that everything is possible in future goals. By inertia, we will think positively and we will have concentration. Remember at least 3 positive experiences before you start working on a given task. Gratitude, the ultimate trick. Many people underestimate the magical power of gratitude. You've probably seen, many times, how religious people give thanks for food before they eat. This is a sort of ritual. There are many such rituals in the world. When you thank someone or something, it doesn't matter what it is, you're setting yourself up for positivity. Why? Because people usually thank for something good, something that changes your life for the better, even if there were some negative moments. When you give thanks, you're programming yourself for positivity. There are many haters, who constantly worsen their lives, perceive everything as crap, and notice nothing. You either tune your psyche to positivity, or to negativity. Young Jedi, here are the 10 useful tips you have received to start living. I hope you will remember a lot, and apply it in practice. Well, that's all from me, thank you for your attention. Wishing you success, good luck, and may the Force be with you, friends.